The system don't just need followers, it needs enforcers. And Jim been enforcing for a long time. That one line had fans digging deeper. Some started pulling up old interviews where Jim defended the industry, or clashed with people who spoke about corruption. And while there's no solid proof of anything Jaguar's saying, one thing's clear: her message has people talking. Because love her or hate her, Jaguar Wright always makes people stop and think. Some fans say she's a truth teller, a whistleblower who's been through enough to see how dark the business can really be. Others say she's using conspiracy theories to stay relevant. But either way, every time she speaks, she shakes something loose. And now, she's aiming that energy straight at Jim Jones. In another part of her live stream, she said something that made everyone pause. You don't get that kind of longevity without playing their game. Some artists fade out, some get erased, but the ones who last, they play their role. Jim's been playing his for years. It's a chilling claim that fame and success in the music world might come with invisible strings attached. And honestly, whether you believe Jaguar or not, it's not hard to see why people are listening. We've all seen artists rise fast and disappear even faster. We've seen people lose deals, lose families, lose their minds right when they start talking about the truth. And now Jaguar's saying Jim Jones knows exactly how that game works. But Jim himself? Silent, no response. No posts, no clapbacks, which in today's world of instant reactions feels strange. Because if there's one thing Jim Jones doesn't do, it's stay quiet when someone calls him out. So now fans are wondering, is he ignoring it because it's ridiculous? Or is there something deeper behind that silence? Jaguar ended her rant with a warning. I'm not scared of them. I've seen what they do. I've seen who they use. And if Jim want to keep pretending he's real, he'd better start telling the truth. The internet exploded. Hashtags started trending. People were tagging Jim, asking for a response. And others were saying this is about to get ugly. Because if Jim Jones responds, it could open a floodgate of secrets. And if he doesn't, people might start believing every word Jaguar said. Either way, this story isn't just about Jim Jones anymore. It's about control, power, and what artists have to sacrifice just to survive in a business. That eats its own. And if Jaguar Wright's words are even half true, then what's coming next might change everything we thought we knew about the industry. After Jaguar Wright dropped her bombshell statement about Jim Jones being part of the system, the internet went into full meltdown mode. Clips from her live stream started spreading like wildfire. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere you looked, someone was reacting to her words. But what really got people talking wasn't just what she said. It was the conviction in her voice, the energy behind every sentence, and the fact that she wasn't backing down. Jaguar Wright didn't sound like someone chasing clout. She sounded like someone who's seen something and is tired of keeping quiet. And now the question on everyone's mind is, what exactly did she mean when she said Jim Jones is part of the system? Fans started digging deep. Some began linking Jaguar's statements to past interviews where Jim Jones talked about the darker side of the music industry. They pulled old clips of him saying things like, "This business will test your soul," and suddenly, Jaguar's words started sounding a little too close to home. But Jaguar wasn't finished. In another live stream the next day, she doubled down on her claims. "I don't lie about this stuff. Jim knows what I'm talking about. He's been around long enough to see it, to live it, and to benefit from it. He's not innocent." She didn't flinch, didn't pause, and didn't care who disagreed. That's what made her rant even more powerful. She started explaining how the system works, saying that certain artists are selected early on and slowly molded into brand figures, controlled not just by money, but by fear. According to Jaguar, once you sign into the higher levels of the industry, you don't just represent yourself, you represent the agenda. They tell you who to be, who to date, when to fight, when to cry. Everything is written. They keep you in a loop of chaos so you never stop to ask who's pulling the strings. That hit fans hard. Because if you think about it, Jim Jones' entire career has been surrounded by tension, controversy, and drama. From feuds to personal conflicts, It's like his story never had peace. And now Jaguar's saying that's not by accident. She even hinted that certain beefs might have been planned, saying they use these men to keep the fans distracted. While we're fighting over lyrics, they're cashing in on the chaos. Fans started comparing her statements to the way major headlines seem to drop right before an album, a show, or a tour. Some said Jaguar was exposing the marketing machine behind hip-hop. How real pain and real lives are used for profit. But of course, not everyone was convinced. Some fans came to Jim's defense, calling Jaguar's claims dangerous and unfounded. They said she's making reckless statements that could hurt people's reputations still. The silence from Jim Jones made it hard to ignore, because usually he's quick with a response, whether it's a diss track, a post, or an interview. But this time, nothing. Not a single word. That silence only fueled more speculation. Some said he was ignoring her to avoid giving her attention. Others said maybe he couldn't respond. Maybe there's more to the story than anyone realizes. Meanwhile, Jaguar supporters kept pushing her message. They said she's been calling out the truth for years and nobody listened until now. Okay, and honestly, whether she's right or wrong, her words are making people think differently about how this industry works. Because even if you take away all the conspiracies, it's still clear that fame comes with a price. Jaguar described it like this: the industry will feed you fame, but it'll starve your soul. They'll give you diamonds, but take your peace. They'll build you up just to tear you down when it's convenient. And that's something fans have seen play out again and again. Artists at their peak suddenly breaking down, vanishing, or losing everything. She also hinted that Jim's involvement in the system wasn't just about music, it's about influence. She said, once you become the face of a culture, you're not just rapping anymore. You're controlling minds. You're shaping what people believe in. That's why they keep certain people at the top, not because they're talented, but because they obey. That line hit a nerve, because if you really look at the pattern, you'll notice some artists who speak up against corruption lose everything. Others who play along stay rich and protected. Fans started asking, is Jim Jones really one of them? Or is he just caught in the middle? Because love him or hate him, Jim's been in this game a long time. He's seen legends rise and fall. He's worked with people who vanished overnight. So if anyone knows the truth about the inner workings of hip-hop, it's him. But here's where things got even crazier. Jaguar said she's not done yet. She promised that she has receipts to back up her words. She said, I got names, I got messages, I got stories. They can't hide forever. When I start dropping proof, y'all gonna see why I'm not scared. Fans started begging her to show evidence, while others warned her to be careful. Some even said she's putting herself in danger by speaking out. And honestly, given how powerful the people she's talking about are, that's not hard to believe. But Jaguar doesn't care. She's built her entire image around speaking the truth no matter who it offends. So now, the entire internet is waiting to see what happens next.